anything you don't know about or anything you don't understand will actually be a problem to you. And I say problem is unwelcome situation that is looking for solution. And when it comes to problem factors that affect problems, we have the hesitation, limitation, frustration, and confusion. This is 4 factors that affect problems. Hi everyone, today I'll be going a bit away from what I've been discussing regarding how we can be better version of ourselves, how we can, motivate ourselves to put ourselves on that zeal of that motion to, to strive and become better. But this time around, I want to dive into business. Today I'll be talking about the secrets of business innovation and vision. And business innovation and vision is one of the fundamental parts of business, but I won't just dive into business like that without first of all creating a foundation for us, because it is good to understand the fundamental part of it so we can have a step over of something we can climb on and understand the next step to take. But before then, I want to talk about something that will give us the foundation when it comes to business. I know people can start business, you can wake up and start a business. As a matter of fact, you can even, perceive a business idea and say, okay, I think this person is making so much money and I'm willing to dive into this business. Now, of course, you can do all of that, but it's good to have the fundamental basis of business, to know what business entails before you start diving into it, because this is one of the problems when you go into this business and you will find out that the things you're supposed to know, you don't know them. Do you get? So I would like to discuss the basis of the business. For me, I'm a student of Genesis. I like the fundamentals. I like to know the root of things. That's what I'm going to talk about today, so it will give us a layman of what where to proceed further from in our next episode. So we continue. The world business itself is something we need to understand, because most times people dive into business without knowing what business is. The business itself, that word business, I think business, yeah. So the word business is a compound word. Now let me let you understand this. In every business, just know that any business you're into is a problem. You are addressing a problem in that business. Okay, let me say that again. Any business you found yourself doing, you are actually addressing a problem. So every business is addressing a problem. I take that again. I say every business is actually addressing a problem, and you have to identify the problem you are addressing. Because if you don't identify the problem, because anything you don't know about, or anything you don't understand will actually be a problem to you. And I say problem is unwelcome situation that is looking for solution. And when it comes to problem, there are factors that affect problems. We have the hesitation, limitation, frustration, and confusion. This is 4 factors that affect problems. And if you are identifying the problem in that business, you also have to put into consideration of what you're solving. Now, because the problem is not even the problem, but your attitude towards the problem is the problem, because you already know what you're supposed to address. You don't even know how to identify the problem, in the first instance. You have to identify the problem first. It is very, very important. So note, I think I'm going a bit away from what I want to talk about. So let's come back to the roots. Let's come back to the focus topic. The word business. This word business is actually a compound word. And a compound word, one is irrelevant without the other. That's why it's called a compound word. Now, this word business, the word business is a state of the word busy. This word alone, busy, is a state of being occupied, a state of being occupied with something. You remember what the Bible says? It said, let not your hand be idle. Talking about business right there. So this word NESS, which is the next. This is the next. This next is an adjective that is modifying or describing a noun. A noun is a busy, like we're taught in the kindergarten level, that a noun is the name of a place, animal, place, or things. So the next is describing the busy. Stick with me. The tracking. So now the next is quality. Is a quality from a source. I don't know if you're getting that. A quality from a source. Remember what we call the busy is a state of being occupied, and a quality from a source. I'm trying to bring you into a picture, because these are the things we don't understand. Because if you understand this thing the way it ought to, any business you find yourself doing, of course you'll be productive. Because I'll tell you how vision came about business. Do you get? So just stick with me. Now, the two words now put together, hang on a minute, is a state of being occupied from a quality source, and the source is your work. And for your work to be good, you need to have a vision, not a sight. For your work to be good, you need to have a vision, not a sight. So every business you have, you need to have a vision, not a sight. So sometimes when people perceive their commission break, when they come and introduce a certain business to you, and they say, okay, you make a huge amount of money, this and that, you're already perceiving the commission break of that business. So you don't mind, just dive into it. I don't hammer, like they used to say, I don't hammer. But remember, it's vice versa. It's either you hammer or the hammer on you. Do you get? So the sight is what you're working, you're working with your sight, not your vision. So if your sight, your vision sees beyond your sight. Sight is what you can see. We are limited in what we can see through our sight. Of course, we are seeing, but we are limited. But when it comes to sight, when it comes to vision, vision is unlimited. Vision sees beyond sight. Do you get? And this is why the Bible says the greatest gift God gave a man is the gift of vision. The greatest gift God gave a man is a gift of vision. And you have to understand that. So get that right. So vision is not about reaching a goal, but it's about fulfilling the purpose God has created for you to fulfill. You get? I think in Proverbs 29 verse 8, it said, where there is no vision, people perish. That word perish there is, a lot of things will go wrong. A lot of things will not be achieved. A lot of things will be short-circuited. A lot of things will pass away. And as a matter of fact, the people that are waiting for your value, they will be limited. Of course, there will be stampede upon. Those are the people you're supposed to give life to through your value. And in business, you need to understand that you are addressing problem through your value. I take that again. In business, you need to know that you are addressing a problem through your value. The value is the focus. So you need to get that right. You need to get that right. So, and I say something in CCC sales, I have what we call the container, the context, and the content. So for you to get this right, in any business you find yourself doing, you need to have this. You need to have this. You need to have this. This love. You need to love what you do. When you discover the purpose you are created for, you need to love it. Because in the absence of no lovable or desirable evidence, there is no way we can measure your progress. In the absence of no believable evidence, there's no way we can measure your progress. In the absence of no desirable evidence, there's no way we can measure your progress. So you need to have this love. The love is what will prepare you to develop that same equal tendency of love, like to make it develop that unusual power of learning to be productive in what you're doing.